All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Need I say I love you? Need I say I care? Need I say that emotions something we don't share? I don't want to be sitting here trying to deceive you. 'Cause you know, baby, that I don't wanna go. We cannot live together. We cannot live apart. And that's the situation. I knew it from the start. Every time that I look at you, well, I can see the future. 'Cause you know, baby, that I don't wanna go.
And welcome back to Hour 2 of tonight's show. This is the X Zone. I'm Rob McConnell. My guest this hour is Randall Smith. We're going to be talking to Randall about his NDE that he's had and how it changed his life. So joining me now from Huntington, Indiana is Randall Smith. And Randall, welcome back to the X Zone.
Hi, Rob. How are you this evening?
I'm doing pretty good, thanks. And, you and I were just briefly chatting before we went to air that, things are warming up over in Indiana. The bees are back to work, and I think it's going to be a great summer for everyone.
I hope so. We got a lot of rain, that's it for sure.
Well, without rain, we don't have flowers, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the rain. I really do.
I like the rain too, but
Yeah.
we've had a lot.
You have,
We've
eh?
had a lot. Yes, we have.
Now, tell us a little bit about yourself, Randall.
Okay. Well, I'm 62. I'm a retired professional musician. I do upholstery full-time. I own my own business. I've been doing custom and classic cars since I was probably 16, 17. So that's what I do for a living. But, I had a near-death experience at 6 when I was with my dad. He was working over at some friends at his house in a garage.
Mm-hmm.
And the car was running. They were in the garage, and they were standing at a walk-in door that goes into the garage. Well, I was in the garage, and I wasn't paying attention to what they were doing. I was kind of playing with something I don't remember. So I'm in the garage, and the car's running. They're working on it. They're stepping in and out to get air. I'm behind the car, not really paying much attention. I remember getting dizzy, and I collapsed. I hit my head on the bumper, busted my head open, and I was out. And I instantly went to the light, and I went down a tunnel, went right to the light, and there were some beings there that greeted me. I didn't recognize anybody, but they were just shimmering types of beings that greeted me, and we went to different places, and I wound up in a room that was shaped like a stop sign. So it was an octagon-shaped room, but the room was big. It was really big. I was only 6, so this room was really big, and I had a being on the left and the right of me. Like I said, they shimmered. They had form, but it was really kind of formless, but I was communicating through my head. I still felt like I had my physical body.
Right.
As I looked down at one time to see why I was gliding across the floor, and I really wasn't walking, So anyways, these beings were either side of me, so we walked up to the edge of this, it looked like a well, and it was a well in the middle of the floor. And as I looked into it, there was energy coming out of it, Rob. It was kind of really just hard to describe. There's this energy, like a life form energy, and it had all the colors. I mean, everything from blues, greens, pinks. It had all the colors. It looked like confetti. And these beings on either side of me kind of urged me to put my hands in the confetti floating around right here. And when I did, I had a little charge in my hands. And I pulled back, and I felt really kind of just not electrocuted, but a burst of energy was given to me at that particular point. So, and I kind of stepped back a little bit, and I'm thinking, I would like, what direction do I need to go? I would like to go, where am I supposed to go? So as soon as I thought, where am I supposed to go, or what's next, then I had these tunnels open up in front. There were 4 of them, one to each side, left and right, one front and behind me. And I looked to the left, and I scanned to the right, and kind of did a circle so I could see behind me, and went back to the left, and I went back to the left. I woke up on the couch of the house, in this house at these people's, it was their garage. And the one lady had worked in the hospital that she came home at the time that they put and sit me on, or laid me on the couch. So they got me back, and we went to see the doctor, the hospital, and all this good crap. But, okay, we'll fast forward a little bit. I've always had asthma problems and things like that because of the carbon monoxide poisoning. I was dead for 20 minutes. And so in regards to that, certain things bother me and affect me. I'm really allergic to cats and things of that sort. So, but anyways, yeah, it was really kind of a strange experience. But growing up, I grew up in a Southern Baptist family. My mom's dad was a Southern Baptist minister, and every time you turn around, you're going to hell. I mean, so I really couldn't. I always say things like I see people, I hear things, I see things, I sense things, I know things. It was, and I've been given a gift to be able to heal things. So growing up like that, I just, every time I turn around, Randy, stop lying. Boy, you're going to go to hell. Stop lying. But Mom, I see this. Dad, I see this. I hear this.
Yeah.
And ironically, my mom would always ask me to kiss her head, or my back hurts. Give me a hug or something. My back hurts. And it's, the things that Mom and Dads do, I think, But anyways, she would say, yeah, you took my pain away. Well, you took my pain away. Give me a kiss my head. You make my headaches go away. I didn't think anything about that growing up. But fast forward a little bit, I always had kids come up to me and ask for, advice and things of that sort. And ironically, I don't know how, but I told them the right things, apparently, because I continually get people asking for advice all the time. So, it's kind of a weird circle, Rob, how it affects you. I'm 62. I'll be 63 in November, and I was 6 at the time. So trying to figure out all this crap and work with it, it can be a handful. I was asked on another interview, do I believe in hell? Well, I was married before, so.
Oh, I saw where that one was going, boy.
So, once wasn't enough apparently, so I've been married 3 times, but, just because I have psychic abilities and I'm an intuitive and I have mediumship abilities and things, that doesn't mean that, sometimes you just can't see it because you're so close to it.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you do see it, you don't want to see it. It's like, I don't want to have to do this again. Come on, type of deal. So, yeah. And we all have intuitive abilities. Everybody does. But for some reason, those folks who have died and had crazy things happen over there and come back here, it has definitely changed my life for the better, I believe. I'm getting ready to open a healing center in northern Indiana.
Oh, congratulations.
Well, thank you. With some pretty remarkable stuff that will absolutely change lives. So, but yeah, it's, and that's a gift again. That was, I've seen stuff like, I've been given visions about opening centers, a healing center or 2 or 3. I'm not in it for money. I want to help people, so that's kind of what I've been doing with it. But, I'll back up a little bit and go back to the near-death experience. So growing up, like I said, I see things and I hear things, and I always saw, not always, but, I would catch a glimpse of somebody walking across the floor in front of us, and I would say, did you guys see that, or this and that? Come on, Randall. No, seriously, didn't you? No, okay, so, you get to the point where you just kind of repress it and hold it back.
Yep.
So you just don't say anything anymore. So I started hurting myself in my 20s, just because I just put it all on the back burner, stop talking about it and just whatever, I'm going to move forward. I've been playing drums since I was 6, 7 in that area there. So I got into band and get involved in that, but you still, when you go places and you're sensitive, you see things and hear things, and people walking across in front of you, and I've carried on conversations with somebody I thought was standing right next to me, and there's nobody there. So being sensitive when you go to places, even playing music, I focused on playing the music, but you still, it's like catching a conversation at the table way across the room, but you're the only one hearing the conversation across the room, but you're still playing the music. It's like, it's really weird. So I had to learn how to handle that and work with that. So I started studying shamanism. I'm already a drummer, so the monotonous beat of a drum, 6 to 8 beats per second, will put you in an altered state of consciousness and will enable you to be able to navigate somewhat in the spiritual realm by your own control instead of having to meditate and do things like that. So I learned how to do that, and that really helped a lot with the mediumship that I got from the death, and then also the hands-on healing. It also enabled me to be able to do a wider spectrum of things other than just touching people, and not everything can be cured. Some things are karmic and this and that. There's lessons with everything that happens to us. So certain things you can take care of, certain things you cannot take care of because it's your person's karma. So I was learning how to deal with that growing up, because people would say, hold my hand, or touch my back, or whatever. So you get burnt out doing that. So I had to learn how to control the energy that makes this possible for me to be able to do multiple of these types of, situations without draining myself. So I had to learn how to do that. So shamanism come in real handy there. And then in the process of learning shamanism, I learned how to read palms because, your future really is in your palms.
Really?
A good palm reader can basically tell you your life story.
Hey,
in
Randall.
Your hands. And,
Randall,
yes.
I hate to do this to you, my friend, but we've got to take a break. Please stand by. And Exonation, our guest this hour is Randall Smith, and he's located in Huntington, Indiana. And if you'd like to find out more about Randall, he's got a Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Randall.smith.355 ? Oh my God. MIBEXTID = KFXXJD. Why don't you just say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious? There you go.
Well,
We'll be right back, Randall. And Exxon Nation, we're coming to you on the X-Zone Broadcast Network on your hometown radio, Classic 1220, and streaming at classic1220.ca. I'm Rob McConnell. Randall and I will return on the other side in a few moments. Don't go away. Welcome back. Randall Smith is my special guest, and I guess the best way to contact Randall is going to Facebook and just typing in his name, Randall Smith, or you can send him an email, randallsmith800@gmail.com, and we'll put all the contact information up on our website so that you'll be able to contact him after the show, of course. Listen, I'd like to talk to you about your near-death experience, because near-death experiences really intrigue me. In fact, in the previous hour to this, my wife was my guest, and we were talking about NDEs and reincarnation, and you know, the stuff that was thought to be fringe many years ago today is mainstream, and we're hearing a lot more from children about the events that they have encountered, just like you at 6 years old having your near-death experience. When you were having the experience, to the best of your knowledge, were you afraid at all?
No, not in the slightest bit.
No,
Not in the slightest bit. No, the emotions that I was feeling at that time was of utter, complete love.
Oh, wow.
And nothing was, I had not a care. I had not a care. I felt like I was in the safest place you could possibly ever be. Be full of love.
Did you want to come back, or would you have rather stayed with the light beings and the feeling of total love and safety?
Well, of course, I wanted to stay, but I felt while I was going through the experience and the things that I did see, I also walked down a hall, and in this hall I could see slivers on a wall, and those slivers were apparently the books of life for everybody. So I think I was given a lot of this information to bring back and try to create and do something not spectacular, but to do something that can affect people, not just myself. So, to be of service. And I was young. I mean, at that time, my grandparents were still alive, and I didn't see anybody when I crossed into the light, and just those beings appeared there for me. It was kind of like it was almost a scheduled thing. I don't know. It was kind of really weird, Rob.
Have you had an encounter with these light beings since your near-death experience?
I have not.
No.
I have had encounters with other beings through dreams, but not of the shimmering type that I encountered when I was at the well and walking down the hallways.
Do you believe that we all have a path here on this planet, on this lifetime, that we were put on, or we wanted to come on before we were actually born? What is your thought about that?
I believe that everything that reincarnation, absolutely. We can't. For me personally, from what I've experienced in my lifetime and in my NDE, is there's no way possible for the human soul, the soul that is us, to get it in one lifetime. Think of how many emotions alone are on this physical planet right now.
Oh, my
the
gosh.
dimension that we're in.
Yeah.
And how many times do you think it's going to take a bunch of people to get all of the emotions? I mean, think about all the emotions we go through just on a daily basis, or even just today.
Yeah.
And to think we're all going to get it in one lifetime, no. And I believe that we are given choices while we are in the between states for our soul growth, as to our parents and the situations, our siblings or no siblings, race or whatever, poor, rich, or whatever the case may be. I think we're given a lot of different options for the best soul growth that we can have in this lifetime.
What do you think happens after this lifetime? And I know that you've had the NDE and that you've had the experience of getting a glimpse into what happens. But take it one step further. What do you think happens? Do you think that we are reincarnated into another dimension, another galaxy? Or is it possible that
I really believe it depends on the soul growth at the time that where you are, how enlightened you are. Maybe it was just the emotional side of your soul that you needed to learn in this go around, and then from here on you might be a higher evolved soul, or one still arising. Who knows? But we all, we know ourselves somewhat. Okay, but I don't. Yeah.
How do people react when you tell them about your near-death experience at the age of 6, and how this experience years ago has put you on a path of not only enlightenment of yourself, but of enlightening other people?
Well, I get a lot of requests to do things, readings for people and things of that sort. Rob, I've been doing this for so long. Some people roll their eyes, and some people say, "Oh, well, yeah, whatever," and but those are, few and far between. Now that I say that, I'll probably get inundated. But but I get asked a lot, and it's the same thing for me. I don't really, you can believe or you not believe. Everybody has seen somebody walk in front of them or heard a voice or something off to the side of this and that. And then to think that our physical body, our spiritual essence and presence of who we are actually dies is foolish. The physical body will die, but the essence of who you are will never die. We grow and we get bigger. And what happens afterwards, I think that we're all here to be like God. To be like God. We are created in the likeness and image
That's right.
of God.
Yeah.
And so what does that mean? You look in the mirror, you should be seeing God. But people can't accept that because of what religion has done to everybody. It's blasphemy to say that. It's not. We can create individually. We can destroy individually. So what does that make us? It doesn't necessarily make us a God. We're interns. We're trying to learn all this stuff as it is. We are awesomely powerful spiritual beings having a physical experience, and that we're not very good at. That's a quote from Daniel Brinkley.
Right.
But yeah, we are awesomely powerful spiritual beings. So, they have dumbed us down so bad with everything they've been doing to us. They've been spraying us and this and that. I don't know if I can say this on your show or not, Rob, but, the chemtrails and this and that. It's just unbelievable what they're trying to do to us. The fluoride in the toothpaste. They've been trying to dumb us down forever because they don't want us to know our true potential of who we really are.
Who are they?
We are also... Who are they would be the ones that are in charge of the food we eat, the water we drink.
So basically the people that we put into power.
Well, we think we may have put them into power.
Oh, I see. So we're talking about the New World Order, the Illuminati, right?
Yeah. And they've been in charge for over 100 years or better, So if you've done investigating on that, you'll know that.
Yeah.
So they want to dumb us down because, honestly, if we really truly knew who we were, we wouldn't be scared of doing anything. Honestly, wouldn't be scared of doing anything. That's just who we are.
Yeah. But wouldn't it be to their advantage to let us get to our potential, to let us find out who we are and what we are really capable of doing? Because
then we are no longer the slave race.
Okay.
Because then they have no more control. Because if we can make things as a spiritual being, I know that I'm an energy. I'm energy.
Right.
I'm energy. Okay.
Yep.
So the physical body has to take that type of circuitry energy in order for the physical body to work. But once I leave this physical body, I'm still energy. So in order for me to be able to travel around anything dimensionally, my energy has to be in harmonic resonance with the energy out there. Okay. Now, I believe personally this is where Nikola Tesla got his free energy, is from the ether out there by tuning into the same vibration and bringing it into the devices that he had. But, so, yeah, to be in harmony with your surroundings is very, very important too.
So, this whole thing about the Illuminati, the new, the New World Order. If, there's so much in this world that needs to be taken care of. if they want to have total control, I can't understand their concept if it is just control, because if you control society, what do you accomplish?
About anything they want.
But wouldn't it be better, having us productive and making sure that we can take care of ourselves, making sure that the people around the world have food, have water, and that the children have the ability to become stronger, smarter.
Well, that's exactly where I'm at with it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I want.
Sure.
So in order for that to happen, we have somehow or another, the other situation has to be rectified.
And how do we do that?
So,
let's talk about that when we come back from this short break. Exo Nation, our guest this hour is Randall Smith. And if you'd like to find out more about Randall, just go onto Facebook and search his name, Randall Smith. Or you can contact him by email, randallsmith800@gmail.com. And Randall and I will be back on the other side of the short break as we continue right here in the X Zone from our broadcast center and studio in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada, on your hometown radio, Classic 1220, streaming classic1220.ca. Welcome back. Randall Smith is our guest. And Randall, how do you think that we can actually rid ourselves of the unseen puppet masters that apparently a lot of people out there believe they are actually pulling our strings, dumbing us down in order to control us beyond belief? How do we get rid of them?
Take a stand. Stop supporting different organizations that they own.
Mm-hmm.
Turn it off the mainstream media. No disrespect to you whatsoever, Rob.
No, none taken, my friend.
Okay, good. And just kind of disconnect from the local news and things like that. It's just fear propaganda after another another. And here in the States, our voting system obviously is not working well, and it's a long answer to correcting the situation.
When do you think it all started?
Probably 1871. Somewhere in that area right there, when the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and the Hefners, and all the other folks decided they needed to have their own monopoly board and start controlling and running everything. I think it started before that, but when we borrowed money back from England, and once we borrowed money back from England, and that's when they had control over us, and it still is.
Oh, boy.
So somewhere in that area there.
What is your, with everything that you've done over the years and, with the abilities that you have, what do you think the impact of artificial intelligence is going to be on the population?
If they buy it and you start using it for basically everything, it's going to dumb them down even more. I don't understand why you want to give control of yourself up to something else. Now, I understand assistants and things like that, but I don't want an AI assistant. I get asked that a lot. I don't want an AI assistant, period. I think it really is a way to dumb us down even further, or dumb down the population even further. And I don't really mean to say that, in that aspect, but that's what it is. I think people aren't able to love themselves like they should, and I don't mean that in an arrogant way or anything like that.
Sure.
You got to learn to love yourself. That's why people aren't alone. But AI I don't think AI is a good thing for us at all.
I agree.
In certain aspects, I can see that, like for assistance in driving and things of that sort. But for typical, ordinary duties, no, not at all. No.
I agree with you 100%. I don't think we are ready yet for something as powerful as AI.
Well, yeah, and they're starting to introduce the flying cars. Come on. People can't even drive like it is. Come on, give it in a car that's airborne? Oh, please. You want to depopulate the planet, do that.
Oh, my God. That's something I never thought I'd see in my lifetime. The Jetson. There goes George.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about road rage. Oh, my.
Now you'll have air rage. Wait a minute. We already do in the commercial airliners. That's why they've got air marshals on there.
That's
oh,
right.
My gosh. This, when you look at the world, it's screwed up. Let's face it.
Oh, yeah,
it is. We screwed
really
it up. But I really believe that working together, and I'm not including politicians here, because if you want something to get done, you don't include the politicians.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. The old thing is, when is a politician lying? When his mouth is moving. So, get the people who can really make the difference. Get educators. Right. Get members of the medical community. Get the entrepreneurs. Right. Get people who can actually make things happen. And I believe that we will solve the problems of this planet and learn from it. But I hope they don't take their time. Yeah.
Here's hoping. Yeah, if we can put our, prejudices aside and look for natural cures. We are an energy body. We are electrical. We're water and electrical. I've got vibrating devices that I use that will affect cell memory and awaken dormant stem cells and things of that sort. That would be part of what I'll have in my center. So it's the technology and stuff that's coming out today is just absolutely mind-boggling. And I always said I would like to find something that can do, because most of the time when I do a healing on somebody, it's just basically an energy exchange. I'm just sending energy into you, and it's taking care of what's ever going on, and the energy passes through you. And, occasionally I'll get something going else on with you, like an attachment or something like that. But it's just basically energy. So we need to bring the vibration and energy types of technology into play with life. And like I said, I do have a couple of those that I will be introducing in my center. But natural healing is the best way to go. Get away from the pharmaceuticals. Now, don't get me wrong, penicillin and aspirin and things like that are kind of necessities at times. And some medicines do take precedence over others and are very helpful. But for the most part, everything that we need that will take care of every health issue we have is either out in nature or vibration or energy.
Tell me more about this healing center that you're opening up.
Okay, it will be in northeastern Indiana, and I'm going to have this stuff in there called EE systems. What that means is energy enhancement systems. That it was developed by Dr. Sandra Rose Michael, and it's called energy enhancement system. And what it does is it can not necessarily restructure, but give strength and correct issues going on with your DNA, with also your cells and blood and brain injuries and neurological situations, things that won't heal, multiple sclerosis and things of that sort. So it will take care of, I'm not going to say heal because it can't, but it will facilitate healing within the physical body that can take care of itself. The energy that created the body can heal the body. So by giving it the correct energy field again, it can take care of its own healing process. God is amazing with what was done with our physical body, that we can, tune into the energies and vibrations and start taking care of it like it needs to be taken care of.
So basically, you're giving people energy tune-ups.
Yep, exactly right. Exactly right. And one of the devices that I have, Rob, you hold it in your hand, and you can actually purchase these and take them home and use it at your own discretion anytime you want to, instead of having to make an appointment to come and see me or the center. So anyways, this device blows the same, the cells in our body vibrate at 6.8 to 7 beats per second. And this device sends an electrical current into, not an electrical current, but it sends a terahertz, terawave type of signal into you. And by doing that, it can heat up the bones. And in the process of doing that, it stimulates cell growth and awakens dormant stem cells. So it's like giving yourself your own stem cell therapy, except it doesn't cost thousands and thousands of dollars to have this done. And there has been miracle after miracle after miracle just from this one device alone. So I really, really, at this point in my life, believe this is part of why I'm still here, and part of why I am here is to be able to introduce this to people, because this is absolutely, these things are miracle devices, just absolute miracle devices. And I got an application in for a med bed. So when they become available to the public, hopefully I'll be able to get one of those. I don't know. That's pretty wishy, so I don't know.
Now,
but anyways, the EE system. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, for our listeners who don't know, what is a med bed?
A med bed is a military device that the technology has far-reaching, let's put it that way, that the technology has. And it can take care of people who have lost limbs, start a natural growth process again, brain injuries, it turns it around. It's a miracle device, period. And, there's a lot of people saying this is hogwash and this and that, but yeah, they're out there. So, yeah, they're out there. It's just a miracle device. Miracle.
When we come back from our next break, if possible, I'd like you to share with us some stories of success that you've had as a healer, and what the traditional Western medical profession, I don't know, medical profession? Oh, what the hell, we'll use it. And what they have to say about the people that are healed using your services. Can we do that?
We sure can.
All right, we'll do that on the other side of this last break of this hour. And Exo Nation, okay, if you'd like to contact Randall Smith, best thing to do would be send him an email. And his email address is randallsmith800@gmail.com. And Randall and I will be back as we wrap up tonight's show here in the X Zone from our broadcast center and studios in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. And you're listening to us on your hometown radio, Classic 1220, and streaming around the world on classic1220.ca. I'm Rob McConnell. We'll be right back.
said we're through. It seems like years, time keeps dragging on, and forever's been and gone. Still I can't figure what went wrong.
Black day in July, Motor City madness has touched the countryside. And through the smoke and cinders, you can hear it far and wide. The doors are quickly bolted and the children locked inside. Black day in July, a black day in July. And the soul of Motor City is spared across the land. As the book of law and order is taken in the hands of the sons of the fathers who were carried to this land. Black day in July, black day in July.
Welcome back. Randall Smith is our guest, and we're talking about Randall's, we talked about Randall's near-death experience at the age of 6 and how it's influenced his life and put him on a very esoteric path where he's been using his abilities that he's had since having his near-death experience to help people, to cure people, to let people know that there's much more to life than what we think we know. And Randall, first of all, thanks for coming on the show tonight, but tell us about the people that you have helped using your medical abilities and, you know, what it's like to be a modern-day healer.
Well, it's a mouthful, Rob. Thank you again for having me on.
Anytime, buddy.
Okay. Well, I'll start off. I'll tell you a story here.
Okay.
I had a lady, one of my clients. I had been seeing her, or she had been seeing me for a couple of years, and she had called me in kind of a not a panic, but she was very excited panic. So she calls me and she says she's in New York, and she needs to see me as soon as she gets back because she absolutely feels horrible and cannot explain what's going on in her mind and things of that sort. So I said, okay, I'll go ahead and set you up for when you get it back into Indiana. Give me a call and we'll set you right up. So she comes in, and I don't typically like to ask questions about what's going on with you whatsoever. I just kind of want to get right to it. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we'll do the pleasantries, hi, yada, yada, yada. So I have her come in, and I have her lay on the table. Now, what I do is I'm also a Reiki master. I did that because I needed to understand why I'm seeing things and this and that when I touch people. Okay, it helped a little bit, but also helped me to hone that gift. So anyways, she came in, and she's laying on the table. I have a massage table. I cover them up, and I have a nice pillow you can lay on. And so I play music in the background. It's kind of a bright, vibrational type of music, something to just kind of take you out a little bit. Mm-hmm. It's easier to work on somebody when they're not really necessarily in a conscious state. So anyways, I have cameras just, you know, for privacy. But anyways, so I start at the head. I sit by her, and I start at the head, and I work down. I put my hands on her shoulders, and then her heart area, then, you know, go down, stop at the hips, and do the feet last. So I got my hands on her forehead, and I'm tuning into her, and I introduce myself to whomever maybe is there within her consciousness as I'm working on the individual, because I knew she said she had something going on. Mm-hmm. I could sense it when she walked into the room, so she's laying on the table. I'm trying to tune into it. So I'm on the head, and I move my hands to where I'm over her eyes, and as soon as I did, I saw a guy pushing a wheelbarrow. And this wheelbarrow had 4 or 5 bodies laying in this wheelbarrow. And your imagination would be pretty much correct by the way they were laying in there. So he would take him and walk him down this pathway and dump them either left or right into these pits. And he did this. And it was his job to dump these bodies in this pit. And I pulled my hands away from my head. I'm going, what am I seeing? Well, my God, what is going on here? Holy crap. So I put my hands back on her head. I shook it off, and then I put my hands back on her head, same spot, and I continued where I had left off with this gentleman in some very dire clothes, drab-looking, horrible, and he's just dumping. That's why he's doing this, dumping his body. Fill up the wheelbarrow, take it, and dump him. So because of what I learned in shamanism, I knew that this person had an attachment. An attachment is a spirit that did not cross over, but is still in the physical plane. So this lady who came to see me, I knew she had an attachment because that's what I was seeing over and over every time I touched her head. So I know how to remove them. So I'm communicating with the spirit that I'm seeing moving the wheelbarrow. Okay, I try to get him to cross over. I can't get him to cross over. He would pop out, pop back in. He won't cross over. So I'm thinking to myself, what is going on here? So I concentrate on the people in the wheelbarrow. Okay, I bring in warrior spirits of the light, rescue spirits of the light, anybody I can think of that is in the light, that are friends and family, loved ones that are still trapped here. I ask for them to come from the light, and when they do, these individuals that were in these wheelbarrows started leaving. I seen the spirit just like a wisp of a light. They would all just disappear. And then as soon as what the gentleman was dumping in the pit, as soon as they disappeared, he left. He was able to cross over too. And as soon as that happened, I didn't see any more spirits attached to this lady. So what had happened was the spirit that was already passed had spirits attached to it. So it was a layering effect going on there that was attached to her. So I had to move the spirits in the wheelbarrow before I could get the gentleman to cross over himself. If it wouldn't have been for taking shamanism, I would not have figured that one out. So I studied shamanism in my mid to late 20s and had been doing it up until, well, I still am. It's a never-ending process. But I learned how to do that via shamanic experiences. So by getting to cross over, and I finished the healing process with her body, I brought in the lights, I cut cords and things of that sort. We all carry emotional cords with us, and it's pretty easy to cut those emotional cords. They go down the back of your legs, up the front of your legs, up your back and down the front, and it does a figure eight right there at the groin area. If you were to take your hands and go over that area and ask for a sword or a knife to be placed in your hands, you can cut those cords and release a lot of trauma that we still hang on to. So anyways, I'm doing this to this lady, and I feel no more drag after I've cut it for, I don't know, it seems like forever, but it was only probably a minute or two. So I was taking care of that, brought her chakras back up, and, finished out the healing and this and that. So as I'm finishing up the healing, I thank all the guys and everybody that assisted and helped with what was going on here, because I'm just a hollow bone. So the energy comes through me, and because of the energy comes through me, then we can work this, what you guys call magic, and it's just basically working with this energy. So I give thanks for this. So as I'm doing this, I'm thinking in my head, how am I going to tell her what I experienced? How am I going to say something to somebody? That's why she came in, So I sit her up, and how you doing? And I offer you some water to drink, because it is kind of a taxing, draining situation that occurs when spirits are removed from people. So she had some water, and I let her sit there for a couple minutes and get her, equilibrium back, and the look in her eyes were clear instead of foggy. So I get to talking to her, and I said, hey, I got to tell you what I saw. I know this is why you come here. So I told her what I just told you, and she goes, oh, my God, Randall, oh, my God. She goes, we stopped in New York to see the Holocaust exhibit that was going on in New York at the time, but we were at Auschwitz. She said, we walked all along that area.
Oh, my gosh.
I said, oh, my God, are you kidding me? She goes, nope. She says, this is where we were when I called you. I said, oh, my God. So, I said, this is exactly what happened to you. She goes, I just felt, oh, my God. She goes, I cannot tell you. I said, you don't have to tell me what you felt. I felt it. It was absolutely just horrific. She goes, yeah. She says, I wanted to commit suicide. It was just unbelievable. I said, oh, my God, I'm glad you didn't. So, yeah, once that was done and she left, of course, I staged the room. I meditated a little bit more to make sure that these spirits actually did go into the light and are secure there, you know. And I did my meditation and this and that, and I'm thinking, wow, thank you so much for enabling me to be able to do this. This is, you know, it's still very moving, Rob, to talk about this, because
I would imagine.
they were tormented for however long ago that happened. There was still residue of them there, and she picked them up and brought them home with her.
Oh, gosh.
So it was unbelievable. It was just absolutely unbelievable. It floors me just to think about it. Yeah, and I'm putting that in my book, too.
Would you call that a possession?
I don't necessarily believe in possession.
Okay.
I would say it's an attachment, because we have an energy that spirits can attach to. To have a full possession is kind of a rare thing, but a lot of people do get attachments, and you know, all it really takes is to be in a very depressive state. You can attract attachments to you, and or if you drink alcohol, it only takes 2 or 3 drinks for your aura to diminish to the point where you can and are susceptible to getting attachments. Our aura is our natural defense mechanism. If it's weak, it lets things in. So when you do things that create weakness in your aura, then attachments can come in.
You know, when I have the opportunity of speaking to you, time goes by so fast. So first of all, I want to thank you very much for taking time out of your day. I know you're a busy guy, and for sharing with us here on the X Zone. And I love the idea of your healing center.
Thank you, Rob.
I got to put, you know, we're talking about, I said something about possession. So do you know what happens if you don't pay the exorcist?
No, go ahead.
You get repossessed.
You get repossessed?
Yeah, there you go. It's good talking to you, my friend. The very best. And let our listeners know what your email is one more time.
Okay, it's Randall Smith at Randall Smith 800 at gmail.com. Again, Randall Smith 800 at gmail.com.
Randall, take care of yourself, and I look forward to the next time you and I meet.
Okay, me too, buddy.
Good night. X Zone Nation, that was Randall Smith, and his email is randallsmith800 at gmail.com. Well, that's it for tonight, X Zone Nation. I'll be back tomorrow night at 10 o'clock as once again we cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And I'm with you Monday through Friday from 10 p.m. until midnight, right here on the X Zone Broadcast Network. And always you're listening to us on Classic 1220 and streaming at classic1220.ca. So to all my friends out there in the X Zone Nation and our new listeners around the world, thank you for being with us. And always remember to keep your eyes to the sky and your heart to the light. Good night, everyone.
Time. One last call for alcohol, so finish your whiskey or beer. Closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay.